We're letting this one right out. You know we are. Right before Thanksgiving. The Heat on a really great win streak of games, even though we got the streak broken. We're kind of back on a streak, but I still feel we're still on the streak because that one was kind of a fluke, so we're not going to count that one. So we're still on the streak, okay? But things are good. Things are real good in the land of Miami Heat. Should we let it ride? Let's let it ride because, you guys, you don't get these opportunities very often. So, we got to take these opportunities when we can and we'll let it ride. Hit me with that break. That's pretty good, right? You know you like that shit. Jimmy loves it. Look at him. Fucking that shit. Kyle Lowry been like, oof, I gotta sit down. I'm gonna get fined. I don't wanna get fined. That's Kyle Lowry. That is vintage Kyle Lowry. I don't wanna get fined. Okay? Yurts even tried to save him, but you can't stop the Jimmy. That's a $30,000 air fuck right there. Okay? So appreciate it. That shit's art. That shit's worth $30,000. Should we stop? Yeah, that's okay. We cut it off. We're not gonna let it end. I'm never gonna let this song end unless we have to. Okay, so we're cutting it off. And Jimmy, thank you very much for blessing us with your pelvic thrusts. So yeah, okay. Let me get a little comfortable here. Hold on. There we go. There we go. Ready? Right over there. Right there. I don't want to put it too loud because then I might get a buzz. But over there. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. He cultura. 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 However you say it, that's how you say it. Now and forever, I don't make the rules. I just make the rules. I am Studio Mogura. Studio MOGURA. Hit me up at the PayPal. Hit me up at the CashApp. Buy my book, Full Moon Nights, available on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. For the softcover, go to Amazon. For the hardcover, go to Barnes & Noble. It is a chronicle of the Miami rave scene in the early 2000s. Basically, a bunch of my adventures being a raver put together. I gave you the story, okay? There's actually sequels. I'm writing sequels to this book that is like basically the year of 2003, which is, this book takes place after my first year of college, when I came down back to Miami and they had the last Full Moon Nights. And I came down for it and all that stuff and whatever. And the sequel, which is called Magical Maydays, takes place in the year 2000, takes place after I graduated in 2003. And it's basically that whole summer up until the end of the year of 2003, where it was like a non-stop parties. Like every week there was like a huge party. Every month there was a big-ass party. And it was like basically, when I left to college at the beginning, like for Full Moon Nights, it was like me coming back, and it was like the last rave parties, the last real rave parties to take place, was at that time. And then I went to college, and I partied all my college. And then when I came back to Miami after 2003, at that time, like the whole scene, it was still there, but it had completely changed. Like there were no more rave parties because there was like laws that were passed to kind of like stop that shit. And if you threw a rave, you could go to jail. You could actually, like the person who threw the party, the promoter, if there was like an OD or if drugs were found in the party, they could like hit you with the same charges that they hit someone who has a crack house. So you get hit with distribution charges. You get hit with, like, if someone fucking dies, you get hit with manslaughter charges. It was fucked up. Like, they went crazy. And so because of that, number one, calling something a rave became taboo. And so you couldn't call parties or raves anymore. You could only call, we're going to go to a party, yeah, go to this, or go to the show. That's what you would say. You wouldn't call it a party anymore. You wouldn't call it, a rave anymore. And a lot of the raves went from, like, underground, from like the warehouse parties, house party, went from like these really weird locale parties that were like closed down buildings and all that kind of stuff. Like all of that shit moved into the clubs at the beach. So like nowadays when you go to your rave party that's at a club, technically not really a rave because it's literally like sanctioned, you know? It's like a sanctioned rave. Like raves weren't sanctioned. Raves were like at places they weren't supposed to be. And like, you know, pretty much like at some element of it there was like someone not being totally truthful that of what's kind of going on here. And that's basically what made the rave the rave. They were like basically illegal parties. And so when you have it in the club, it's totally legal. And in the club, we were able to move the parties to the club, but you couldn't have anybody 18 and under. Like you could, it was only 21 and up. And for guys, it was 21 and up. For girls, it was 18 and up. But for guys, it was 21 and up. So like even when I was younger, a lot of reasons that I went to the raves was because the raves were all ages. And raves were like 18 and up and stuff like that, so I could get into those parties. When I got out of college, I was already 21, so like I could get into all these, and I didn't have a problem going to the beach. So we were always at the beach and always at the club parties at the beach, and those became the quintessential rave parties because all the drum and bass parties were taking place at like clubs at the beach where we would do like weeklies and monthlies and all that shit. And then there was like certain spots, or there's certain spots around Miami that are like these big warehouse kind of club venues and shit. And there would be, that's where you would throw the big drum and bass, world of drum and bass, like the big humongous parties with the big ass DJs and stuff. And so that's kind of what became the rave party. They had the rave element, the rave lifestyle, the rave feel, the rave vibe, but it was just kind of legal. And so that's kind of why it's not a rave anymore. That's how the raves kind of died. And so Full Moon Nights takes place like at the time where the raves were about to die and like get like kind of like crushed by like the laws and shit. And then in between my time in college, that's when all like the laws were passing and everything was like kind of coming down on rave parties. And in Florida, like in Orlando, they were coming down on Cybertron or Cyberfest, whatever the fuck it was called. And so like when I got out, that's when everybody had started to shift, and everybody made the shift from like these underground like illegal locations to legal spots on the beach and anywhere. So it was like it was okay to have these parties again. And so that the sequel takes place. It talks about that whole year of me going to all these different parties, and actually I have like it all documented with like photos and shit. So I'm gonna be able to like kind of go, oh, I remember this party was this party was that, this party was this, and this happened, that. And so yeah, so definitely please support that shit. That shit's crazy. I'm trying to still sell it as a screenplay and a book. We haven't even started Cultura. I just started talking about the fucking book, and I'm sorry, I never get a chance to talk about the book, so fuck you. So yeah, so just there you go. You know what? We're gonna stop talking about it because some baby out there started crying. I don't want to do this. Okay, well, too bad. So, okay, moving on. So, he called Full Moon Nights, buy the book, whatever. After that, there's octotaku.com, which is my blog, which is my comic shop as well. I'm starting to go through my comics and find what I want to put up there. Check out my TeePublic shop, my design shop. I had a sale the other day. It was really great. And then also check out my Spotify playlist, which is my entire discography from 1999 to 2003 with this year's release, The Reflection Blinds You from Seeing the Truth. So please listen on that. I need a bunch of listeners because now if I don't get like 1,000 listeners a month, like no one gives a shit. So, yeah, I could use a lot of help with that. So, there you go. That's it. You know, we're done with that. Are you happy now? So we are here now. Cultura, episode 15 of the season 3, and things are good. If you hear squeaking in the background, that is my laundry thing doing its thing. And that is me drinking my Arnold Palmer, my Arizona Palmer, which is Arizona tea, green tea, and Publix lemonade. So try that. That's my little Thanksgiving recipe for you. I have no script. I have nothing. I have no notes. I was watching the game, you know, on one end. I've been working on some other stuff on the other end, and I've been threading it like crazy. Lots of threading it all the time now. Because the threads is where it's at. You know, if you're on Twitter, you're a racist. So congratulations. If not, and you're looking for a place to go and see a lot of great creatives and follow a lot of great creatives and know where all the creatives are going now, it's Threads. Trust me. Just go there. Leave Instagram behind. You don't need Instagram anymore. Instagram is garbage. Or just use Instagram for your photos. And go to Threads for your thoughts. Let's try and do that. Okay? We're trying to beef up NBA Threads, which is going very well. I've already made a couple of kind of good follows, and so I'm going to try and build on those relationships and see what we can do there. And I gotta find though the Heat base on Threads, which is still a little kind of difficult to kind of sift through. So we'll get there. We'll get there. It'll grow in time. There's no rush. I'm considering how I was with Twitter, which is I joined Twitter in the very beginning of Twitter. So whenever the fuck that was, I immediately opened my thing, but I never used it because I was using Facebook all the time, and I just can't. I don't want to be using more than one fucking social media thing at a time, and I left Facebook. It must have been like 2016 or something like that, 2015-ish, around there, or it could have been even earlier, 2012. And I think so. I don't know, but around that time, and then that's when I made the jump to Twitter, and I really didn't start actively using Twitter till like 2016. And from 2016 till now, I barely had any engagement, barely got any followers, and I would post all my art, I post all my stuff, and nothing would get any kind of engagement, nothing. It sucks because over there, like, what happened was that if you would, like, you know, tell some fucking conservative asshole to go fuck himself, you'd go and your account would be limited and all this shit, and then once it's limited once, that's it, forget it. You might as well just fucking close your account and start a new one. That's basically the thing with Twitter, is that if you get your account limited once, just close it, unless you have a humongous following already, fuck that shit. Just close it and just start a new one, because no one's gonna see your account ever again, and that's just bullshit. Because I come onto Threads, and Threads, you know, I'll post something and I get a lot more engagement. It's not even that I get tons of people commenting or tons of people liking. I honestly just get 1 or 2 likes, maybe 1 comment, something like that, maybe something like that, you know. But that's still so much more than what I got of all the years in Twitter. And I'm already past almost like 230 or something in followers, and it's like, dude, like, it took me forever just to get 200 followers on Twitter. It took forever, and I was like posting so much, and I was like, dude, what the fuck? What am I doing wrong? And that's why I spend most of my time on Instagram, and I think there was something else. I don't remember what it was, but whatever. But yeah, so like, I wouldn't get anything out of it. I wasn't getting nothing out of Twitter. So as soon as Threads opened up, I was like, awesome. I bailed on Twitter. Like, fuck that shit. I never fucking closed my account because I view those accounts like real estate. So I don't want to close that account and give someone else a chance to have my name or whatever, like, on another social media. Like, if a social media opens up, I automatically join just to get my account and just to have, like, the name, you know. It's really important that you do that. You have to view social media not really like, oh, this is just, you know, this is bullshit with people. No, view it like a piece of real estate. Like your webpage is a piece of real estate on the internet that you need to own. So I don't know. I haven't used it since Threads opened up. I basically logged out and I deleted it from my phone and just haven't gone back. And yeah, that's it. Yeah, there's no need to even stay there. So I'm really happy with Threads. I'm really happy with the engagement. I'm really happy with the people that are there. Sure, you'll run into somebody once in a while that you disagree with and is kind of a dick, but either or, you just, you know, there's lots of more tools and more ways that you could just mute them and they just never see your shit and can never comment, and that's it. You never interact with them ever again. Fuck them. And that's a lot better. That's how the world's got to be now. So, I mean, there's not really much to talk about this game other than the fact that the Heat just completely dominated it and beat the crap out of the Cavs. But I watched the Cavs the night before when they played Milwaukee, and they beat Milwaukee. So, you know, that's why I was happy that the Cavs won. You know, I mean, not Milwaukee, the 76ers. And that game went into overtime. So it was like, I was happy when that game went into overtime, and I was happy when Cavs won because I knew that they were probably going to lose this game against the Heat, because the Heat were going to come out there and we're not going to fuck around. And because we're kind of in not fuck around mode already, which is kind of like, interesting. Because I thought this team would still be a little kind of like, whatever, but we're looking like how we looked after All-Star break at time. Like, you know, we're looking like ready. We're seasoned. We're like ready for a playoff game right now. And I guess that's the in-season tournament. You know, that the in-season tournament, even though it's not really like, back-to-back games, it just you know, because there's an in-season tournament here and there's one in a week or two, the games in between still feel pretty important. So I guess like it carries over because you don't want to go up into the in-season tournament game like playing like shit. And Yeah, I mean I think that's good. That's good because we get it. But I'm gonna be eager to see everybody at the end of this season and see how they look. Because if you're gonna go ahead and give all this energy for the in-season tournament, you better hope a lot of these guys have enough in their tank left over at the end of next year. I mean, at the end of this season for the actual tournament. You know what I mean? So we're gonna see. We're gonna see how this affects everybody at the end. But I don't think it should because it's like literally the same amount of games. It's just the effort, the effort that people put in, and there is a strategy that goes into like keeping guys healthy and containing them. Look at the Heat. That's basically what the Heat did last year. The Heat just made sure that when they started the playoffs, everybody was healthy, and we have never been that healthy going into a playoff game, dude. Like everybody was fucking 100% ready to go. And then like Hero went down first game, sure. That totally fucking sucked, but because everybody else was fucking 100%, especially Lowry, who Lowry sucks when he's not healthy, but when he's playing good, it's because he's healthy, and because we went in healthy. I mean, that carried over, bro, and we were able to kind of survive all those games, and not even survive because we kicked the living shit out of. We beat Milwaukee, we beat fucking whoever, the other people that we fucking played in the Knicks, and then honestly, we beat fucking Celtics, but we just let them fucking come back. We let them come back, like assholes. That is my thing, if you can hear it. So everybody sing along. I know you have one. We all have one. So, yeah. So, hold on one second. Still a little moist. I like my laundry crisp. Very crispy. That's how I like it. Toasty. So, I don't know what to tell you about the Dame trade anymore. Because, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Maybe it's still early in the season. Maybe they're still trying to get acclimated. And they beat us when we met. They beat us. There's no doubt. But now we're going to get to see them in a game that kind of means something. A little bit more than just a regular season win. So we're gonna see how this Heat team responds. I'm very eager to see this Heat team respond. Very, very eager. Like I already want to get to what is this game? On the Knicks, I want to see how we do against the Knicks on Friday, and we'll get to New York versus Miami Day in a moment. But I'm really excited about Bucks Heat. Next Tuesday, like that's the game. We got to see the Heat respond then, and I want to see the Heat respond. I want to see the Heat respond like they responded today. That's what I want to see. Because I think people are still, and it's good that they're not convinced. It's good that they just are kind of like not really paying attention to us. You look at the TNT crew, the NBA TNT crew, and they're like, oh, top 2 threes, all that matters is the top 3 teams, which is like the 76ers, the Celtics, and fucking Milwaukee. The same bullshit, just like last year. Talking the same trash, not even mentioning the Heat, not even giving the Heat their fucking credit, nothing at all. The Heat suck because we don't got a superstar. We don't have Dame Lillard, so we're garbage. Let me tell you, man. Last year was sweet. Okay, I covered the whole thing. I watched game 1 to the last game. Okay, and I did it pretty much at Cultura for each and every one of them. A lot better than this year. This year I've been slacking, I admit. It's not my fault. Scheduling, totally scheduling. But let me tell you, as a fan of just sports, I know a lot of you looked at the Heat and fucking hated us. You either hated us, with a fierce "Rrr," or you loved us with a fierce "Rrr," one of those. Okay, it was either or. And for the most part, I think a lot more people this time around respected the Heat. You know, more than just flat out hated them, because it's not like it was before with the big three that we had LeBron. Like, everybody hated us back then. But I think people still kind of hated us this time around, because it was just what the hell, you know? How the hell did they do it? And just people were just mystified. And then that's why they automatically go to the idea that it's a fluke, that this was just a fluke and this was just a one-time thing and this isn't going to happen again. And they're not taking into consideration the last couple of years of this team and how this is one of the few teams and organizations that I have ever seen in my life, in my entire life of being on this planet, that can keep players here for multiple years. Most teams, they'll lose the entire fucking team and keep 2 guys, and then every year they gotta restart. This team has been the core of this team has been together since pandemic. The core of this team has been together since pandemic. And that's not just Jimmy Butler, Jimmy Bam and Hero. Robinson's in there. You know, I at one time last year, Vincent was in there. And I think that's the year that we picked up Strus. No, Strus was afterwards. Strus was after the bubble. I know we had Vincent in the bubble, I'm pretty sure. But, you know, because we had him to replace Dion Waiters. And, that core is still with us. And if you can keep a core like that for this long, man, and then add guys who, have stayed on for as long. Kevin Love's already been here a couple of years, Lowry's been here a couple of years already. You don't even remember Lowry in Toronto. You think Lowry won his ring here in Miami. That's how things have changed. You forgot that Lowry won in Toronto, and you think that he won it here in Miami. That's how it is now. This team, those are birds in the background that my cat likes to watch on YouTube. And, I'm not going to deny her birds, even though it's kind of late for birds. And it's a little bit kind of, it gets her a little bit one of those, she does the whole, how the cats do the, that thing. She does that. But, whatever, it's vacation. So I'm letting her party tonight. So, this team has been together a while, and that's really rare for any organization, any sport. It's really, really rare to keep that that team together. And we're still good to go, man. These guys haven't seemingly gotten worse. I think these guys have gotten better. This team is playing better than it played last year, and this today was. I don't think last year they had a game like this. At all. I don't think they had one game last year where they blew out somebody by fucking 30. We were the worst three-point shooting. We went from being the best three-point shooting team to being the worst. What saved us last year is that we were the best in the entire league for free throws. And that really actually turned out to be a big fucking deal. That turned out to be a humongous deal. I saw that at the beginning of mid-season, beginning of the season. I was why is that's really? We don't do threes anymore? We do that? That's so lame. And then at the end of the season, it actually turned out to be insanely huge, because that basically carried us through a lot of games. A lot of the close games, we won because we won it on the free throw line. So, there you go. This team if Damian Lillard would have been here, I want to say it would have been weird. I don't know if would we be putting up this kind of points, or would we still be relying on one guy and just looking and waiting for him to put up the points, and then he keeps trying to put up the points, but today's not a good day. He's kind of off today. Yesterday was good, but not today. Like, I don't think we would be getting the same thing. Maybe we'd get a good game once in a while, but I don't think this consistent streak like this, we're still trying to make it work, make it happen. Basically, what's happening in the Bucks. I don't think the Bucks are gonna be bad. Essentially, I have to imagine that they're gonna be really good at the end of the year and still be top 3 team or something like that. I got to imagine that, but I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. What are we talking about here? You tell me. What are we talking about here? Because here 10-5. When what are the Bucks now? Bucks should be 11 and something. I don't know what the fuck they were. Look at that. They're tied 10-5 because they lost today to Boston. So we're tied with them. It's a big game coming up, man. It's a big game. Big ass game. And then they got everybody above us, which is kind of lame. And putting the I mean, I don't know why the Magic come up, because they have a 5-game win streak, I guess maybe. But in the conference they're 5-2, and we're 7-4 in the conference. So why are they put up? Then the Bucks should be above everybody else because they're 9-5 in the conference. But they're gonna get theirs. They're gonna get there soon. And in the last 10, Miami is 9-1. That's big. Last 10, Miami is 9-1, and in the last 10, everybody above us is 7-3. That could be scheduling. Scheduling is probably part of that, but that's big, bro. That's big. I want to play some real teams, bro. I want to play some really good teams. So we're gonna play the Knicks, man, and the Knicks lost 6-4 in the last 10. At home, they're 3-2. Right now, they're 8-6. So we gotta come out there. We gotta pop these guys in the mouth. We ain't just gonna come out there and just stomp these guys. Cause I just swear to God, I think this Heat team is just right now. We're tied for 2. We're kind of tied for 2. I mean, the 76ers are 10-4 because they have played less games than us. So they'll play a game tomorrow, I guess. Like, when is their next game? They have a. Oh, it just hasn't gone final. They lost. They lost today again, so it just hasn't. It hasn't cleared. So they're 10-5 too. So they're 10-5, and there's like a 4-way tie right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. He has a 4-way tie for second place. There is a 4-way tie for second place right now. Okay? And out of the top 5 teams in the Eastern Conference, the Heat, they're all 7-3, and the Heat are 9-1. No one in the entire conference is 9-1 in the last 10. In the Western, the only people who are 9-1 are the Timberwolves, which is really weird. Why are there Timberwolves good? There's the only two teams that are 9-1 in the last 10 are the Timberwolves and the Heat. In the Western Conference, the top fucking 5 teams are Timberwolves, Thunder, Nuggets, Mavericks, and Kings. That's just weird. And then the top 3 teams, Nuggets, Thunder, Timberwolves, are kind of tied for the same record or something. I don't know what the fuck their schedule is. So, but they all have 10 wins basically. I think Timberwolves might have 11 because it hasn't shown up yet. But they're down a couple games. They're only played 13. Get the fuck out of here. I don't know. It's interesting because you're seeing that he gotta play some people. We need to play some people. We gotta eat some of these big guys up. You know, and these next 4 games are gonna be the shit. So these next 4 games are gonna be big time. Okay, these next 4 games are gonna be with Heat, Nets, and Bucks, and then Pacers, and then Pacers twice. So it's gonna be big. And then if we make it in that in-season tournament, that tournament shit, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know how that shit's gonna work out. But those are the games that are between the 2nd and the 11th. So I don't know when we play there, if we play there, what we play there. If I don't know, that's the whole thing that I'm confused about. So I'm sure they'll let us know. But the whole deal is we gotta win. I'd like to win these 2 in-season tournament games, and we can just play in Las Vegas for a little bit. That'd be cool. But we gotta really see. We're gonna see who this. We're gonna learn a lot about this team in the next 4 games. Let's just say that. Okay, we're gonna say that. We're gonna say in the next 4 games we're gonna learn a lot about this team. We're gonna see where we actually stand. If this team is really capable of. I mean, I don't want to say we are capable of winning the fucking goddamn Eastern Conference at this point. I'm not gonna fucking deny it. We have good. We easily replaced Max Strus, and we easily replaced Gabe Vincent. It's not a problem. The only problem is Drew Smith going down. Shit. Like, I didn't even look at the fucking thing because it sounded, like, really bad. Everyone was screaming, oh my god! So I didn't want to look at it. But, that's not good because that guy was playing really top quality defense, but we're going to be fine. And we should be getting Hero back soon, man. Like, what is the deal with Hero? Well, Heat guard Tyler is no longer using a walking boot. The team confirmed on Monday. Was set to wear the boot for 10 days, assuming the original plan is in place. He'll be reevaluated later this week. When did this come out? Well, this is two days ago. Oh, okay, yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back soon. He'll probably be back at the end of this month. I fully expect Hero back on in-season tournament, man. If we get into the in-season tournament and we have to play a game in Vegas or something, I don't know. I'm assuming that's when Hero would be back, but definitely by the end of this month, he'll be fine. He'll be back, so we're gonna be good. We've got good guys, man. Walquez is a beast, man. That guy is a beast of a player, bro. Rookie of the year. I'm telling you right now. Calling it right now. I've been calling it all season, bro. Since game fucking 1. Walquez Jr. Dude, rookie of the year. That guy's rookie of the year for sure, bro. For sure. No doubt. At least nominated for it. I don't know who else is fucking kicking ass, but he is. He should be in the contention for rookie of the year. Butler's starting to cook. He's just in his little kind of groove where he is doing his thing and everyone's letting him do his thing. The Spam injury kind of came out of nowhere, but it was, you know what? Sometimes it's nice to see the other bigs, man. I want to see the other bigs get a lot of playing time, as much playing time as they possibly can. So I really wouldn't be in a rush to bring Bam back because, you know, give him a nice couple of days off because he's been kicking fucking major ass this entire season, dude. And I kind of want to see more of these bigs. I want to see what these bigs can do. We've got to be able to play these guys with Bam, you know, at some point. I'd like to see that. So, I don't know. And the whole thing is that Spo's never been a big guy. He's just been, like, a small guy, small ball. He's always done that, even till now, man. You know, like, he's big into that. So, but I'd like to see us just have some size and see what we can do with that. I mean, I'm glad both Lowry and Richardson are doing good. You know, tonight was supposed to be about D-Rob versus Strucenator, but nothing kind of came out of that, which is not surprising because they probably really didn't want to go at each other really hard and make the other one look bad or anything like that. So they just both did their thing, and it wasn't, they didn't really try and go out of their way. I knew this game must have been really hard for Struce, man, because the Heat know him, and they for sure were like, they just know him, so they know how to trap him, they know what to do to disrupt him and stuff like that. And from the looks of it, it looks like, watching the game night before and watching this game, Struz is a humongous part of Cleveland's game. I mean, he must be like beloved as a god right now in Cleveland. Like, they must love him so much in Cleveland. They must love Strus so much in Cleveland because this other guy's not playing, and he is just out there balling like a fucking madman. And he's playing like how Strus played when he first when he was trying to take Duncan Robinson's job. He's playing like that, but he's starting, which is awesome, But not against us. And against us, you can go fuck yourself. We're gonna take you the fuck out, bro. Yeah, terminated. So I want to see. I can't wait to play. I hope that he had to focus and can look ahead. They got to get through this Knicks game because this Knicks game's gonna be pretty tough because Friday is Miami versus NYC Day. And this comes around once in a while. There is no set date to this holiday, but you know it because multiple, sports, they play on the same day. So what's happening is the NFL during the day at 3, it's Jets versus Dolphins playing in New York. So Dolphins are playing at New York. And then at night, the Heat are playing at New York for the in-season tournament game. So 2 huge games that both mean a hell of a lot because this is the first time that the Jets play the Dolphins this season. The Jets are going in there with a new quarterback that they're going to send to die. And the Jets have lost to the Dolphins in the last 8,000 years. So it's a really big game. It's a really, really big fucking game. And then you have the in-season tournament, which is, I guess a big game. So, it's going to be a big day. So that day is a great day for you if you've got New York friends and you're from Miami, rag on your New York friends. And if you got Miami friends and you're from New York, rag on your Miami friends, and just go back and forth. And it's all in good nature and it's all in good fun. And enjoy the New York versus Miami day. Or Miami versus New York day. I would say New York versus Miami because Miami is playing over there. If Miami was playing, it was a home game here for both games, it would be Miami versus New York. So we're going to go New York versus Miami, okay? So make sure you have Nathan's hot dogs, your dirty water dogs, sauerkraut, or just mustard. NYC pizza, Brooklyn style. No, not really Brooklyn style because Brooklyn style is whatever. But, NYC pizza. And, have a great time. New York potato salad. That's also good. Also, New York cheesecake. Definitely have some of that. And then you mix that up with some pastelitos and some Miami, some Cuban little sandwiches and, definitely some croquetas and cafecito and that kind of shit, So enjoy that day. It's gonna be really fun. It's gonna be really great, and it's gonna be fucking insane to watch the Jets get absolutely fucking destroyed on national television again. This whole season has been fucking torture, bro, because the Jets have so many games on national television, and all those games, they just keep getting fucking smashed over and over and over again. It's abusive at this point. But anyways, looking forward to the next Heat game. So when the next Heat game will be Friday, 7:30. So check us back then. And we're good. I think I'm gonna cut this one short because it's got the holidays. I got still a bunch of stuff to do. I actually got to start making some I want to make the mashed potatoes tonight because I don't want to deal with that shit tomorrow. It's kind of a process to make, so we're gonna do that right now. And then tomorrow morning I'm gonna go. I'm gonna make the stuffing before I go pick up the turkey, and then head to my parents. I might even just make the stuff over there because it's just literally boiling water and butter or whatever the hell it is, and it's just kind of ridiculous at this point to do anything. But the whole thing is I just don't want to overload my mom's stove because she fills it up with everything, and it's like, oh my god. But so it's gonna be nice. Some football tomorrow, some turkey, and friends and family and hanging out. So enjoy yourselves, be safe and don't freak out. Wait, I don't want to say that just yet because we're not done yet. I'm still talking. I still have to go through the thing. I'm just going through the whole spiel, And whatever. So that's what we're gonna do. We will be back here. No Cultura after Friday, 7:30 p.m. No Cultura. The Cultura, we're gonna cover both New York games, the Knicks and the Nets, because the Heat have a back-to-back Friday, Saturday. So we'll be back here for Cultura. Will be Saturday after the Nets game, because I'm not gonna do no back-to-back Culturas. Like I was doing that last year, and it seemed so stupid, because there was some Culturas that would come out literally in the same day, and then sometimes Cultura would have two Culturas in one day. No, I know, I'm finishing up. The cat's already pissed off. So that's what we're gonna do. We'll be back here Saturday after the Heat Nets game, and then we'll talk Heat Nets and then Heat Knicks and see where the Heat are at and all that stuff, and then we'll get ready for Heat Bucks, and we'll talk about all stuff in life and whatever. So that's how we're gonna do it, and then oh, look at that, boom, right at the end with the laundry, perfect timing, so that I can go ahead and get my laundry, and we can get this show on the road and get going. So man, it feels good. Where the Heat are at right now. The Heat are playing very well. They're playing as good as they were playing mid-season form last year, man. So we just gotta keep it. I'm just curious to see where this is all gonna lead to, because you just come on, reconnect. Oh, come on. Reconnected. Okay, hopefully that doesn't fuck it up, but that's probably already did, so whatever, who cares? All right, so we're gonna go. Cultura. However you say it, that's how you say it now and forever. I am Studio Mogura, Studio MOGURA. Check me out at the PayPal and the Cash App. Please donate. All donations go toward the making of my independent film and my independent animated pilot that I'm still doing all by myself. Please donate, because the more you donate, the more I don't have to actually get a job, and I can just give you content like crazy. Check out my book, Full Moon Nights, available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Chronicle of the Miami rave scene in the early 2000s. Mature audiences only. And check out my comic shop, octotaco.com, which is my blog and my comics. And I'm going to be putting stuff up for sale soon. Check out my TeePublic shop. And then also check out my Spotify playlist, which is all my discography from 1999 to 2023 this year with my release. My latest release, The Reflection Binds You, from Seeing the Truth. So check that out. Also visit my Bandcamp and buy all my records and all my stuff from Bandcamp. Thank you for watching, and be safe out there. Happy Thanksgiving, and don't freak out. Just freak out.